Hey there, this is Chad Garber, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to play Carry On Your Wayward Son by Kansas on the guitar. There are 8 parts. Here are the 8 parts. Number 1. Part 2. Third part. Fourth part. Fifth part. Okay, and then we go to the 6th part, which is, what is the 6th part? The 6th part is 7th part is then the 8th part is so those are all 8 parts. So this is going to be we gotta really focus here. So to get this down, there's a lot of parts we got to teach you, and so let's go. Also, by the way, if you like these videos, please subscribe or consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and you will receive a notification if you hit the little notification bell every time I upload a new video. And I'll be doing at least 1 guitar lesson a week, and you'll get notifications for at least 1 guitar lesson a week if that's something you want. Okay, here we go. Now the parts I've learned, the way I do it, it may be a little strange, and it may be different than the way other people teach you, or the way other people, tab it out and all that. But the way I do it is the way that you can do it, where I believe it's the easiest, and it will make you the most likely to be able to do it consistently and cleanly when you're playing. Okay, so for instance, the first one, okay, is you start with an A bar chord. Hitting basically the A, and you're putting your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the D string and you're playing that. So then you go, and use your middle finger to hit the G, the 3rd fret of the low E. Then you go back to the A, so you go A bar chord. Okay? And then you use so you go bar chord A, 3rd fret of the E, bar chord, 3rd fret of the A. You do a little vibrato each time you do that, by the way. On the low E, the 3rd fret of the low E, and he might not even do that way. Here's how I do it. I think it sounds cool. Okay, and then he goes, you do the same thing, you repeat the beginning part. This time you use your ring finger to hit the 5th fret of the A string, rather than the 3rd fret. Okay? Okay, now here's the part that I do probably differently than other people, that I think is the best way to get it to sound good every time. Okay? Okay? So what I do is I go, use my ring finger, and I'll slide from the 5th fret of the A string to the 7th fret. Then I'll use my pointer finger to hit the 5th fret of the D string. That's easy enough, right? And again, there's other ways to do this, but this is, to me, the best way to do it, to get it to sound right every time. So you're not like trying to rush things and trying to make it. When you're playing and you're not really sure if you're going to be able to hit that, if you're going to make it sound right or not, because it's a kind of a hit or miss. This will make it where you can do it every time. Okay? Alright, so then once you do that, you go to put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, then do a pull off. to an open D, and then you end up with the middle finger on the 3rd fret of the G string. The 3rd fret of the A string. I think it's pretty brilliant, actually. I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, this is brilliant guitar playing, brilliant, you know, technique and all this stuff. But I think this is just a really cool way to play it. Because anybody can do this, and anybody can do this. But if we try to do it this way, like here's another way to do it. That's a hit or miss. Depending on how my fingers are doing. This way though, so this way, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. So you combine those, and you can do that every time, securely. You know what I mean? So that's cool. Anyway, so, and then you go, and then what I do is I go to my ring finger, and some of these things I do because I don't want to do it. But sometimes I'll use the open strings, but sometimes it's hard to get the open strings to control them as much as it is to a noted fret. So there I go. So I go with my ring finger to the 5th fret of the A string, and then I use my pointer finger to go to the 3rd fret of the E string, and go back to the 5th fret of the A string, and then go to the 2nd fret of the E string. So in other words, what we're doing is we're breaking down the parts into manageable and playable parts, so that when you put them together, you can play them easily. Okay, so here it is again. And the truth is, I was playing this, like, here's how I was playing it about 10 minutes ago. But as I was messing around with it, I figured out how to do it easier just now, so this is new for me too. So much easier, alright? So that's that part, okay? The next part is, you hit the, you're going to, basically it's an E bar chord. Put your middle finger and your ring finger of the 2nd fret of the A and the D strings consecutively. E minor though. And I didn't see this part of the tabs either, but this is what it sounds like to me. Put your pointer finger over the 12th fret of the D, G, and B strings. Okay, you do a little vibrato there. You can actually just do the bar chord. It probably is actually better for the E. So you basically just do the open E and your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string and just hit those 2 strings. Up, down, up. No, down, up, down. Like, down, up, down. Yeah, so down, up, down. Down, up, so down, up, down, up. Hit that twice. Okay, now there's another part. Here's how I used to do it. The way I'm doing it now, I just discovered an easier way to do it. So what you do is you start with a low E, hit that, hammer on the 5th fret of the low E, yeah, and hammer on. There's a lot of hammer on going on here. So you're going to hammer on the 5th fret, so low E, hammer on to the 5th fret of the E, and then hammer on to the 7th fret of the E from the 5th fret of the E. What I was trying to do before, I'm not going to tell you, so all you do now is, what I was trying to do before is I would try to pick this next note, but you don't have to do that. All you have to do is, then do the D string open, just pick the D string open. And then this is awesome. You do the open D, do a hammer on to with your pointer finger to the 5th fret of the D string. Like a hammer on and a pull. And then end up with your middle finger, your ring finger. you hammer on the 5th, 7th fret of the A string. So little picking, it's awesome. So basically, you're picking twice and all that. Maybe 3 times if you want to pick that. You can pick the last note, the 7th fret of the A string if you want to. That's probably what I would do. You don't really need to. So most pick, you can pick 3 times max. It's awesome. All right. And the next time you do it, you do the same thing. You put your pointer finger or your middle finger over the 14th fret of the G, B, and the D, G, and B string, and then go back down to the 12th fret of that. The same lick. The next part is just a little part. There's a couple different guitars doing this, but this will work. If you can just put your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the low E, pick that up, pick up, pick down on the 9th fret of the B string, and go back to the pick up again on the 5th fret of the A string, pick down on the 7th fret of the high E string. Pick up on the 5th fret of the high E again. Then pick down on the 7th fret of the high E again. Then pick up on the 8th fret of the high E. And there's another guitar doing another harmony part, but this is at least you know what you're doing. You can do something on that part. Okay? And then it goes to the chorus and the other part, and there's no guitar in that part whatsoever. I tried to listen really carefully. There's just no guitar, so you just gotta sit there and hang out. Alright, and so once that part's over, it goes into this next part, which is, again, this another part is the fingering and the way I'm teaching it is probably different than anybody else, but it's to me the best way to do it, and to do it the most consistent way possible. Alright, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pointer finger and you're gonna go on the G string. And you're gonna use your pointer finger to hit the 2nd fret of the G string. And you're gonna do a pull off to the open G. And then you're going to go to the next string, the D, and do the same thing on the 2nd fret. So you're going to pick the 2nd fret, and hammer onto the open D. The next time, though, you're going to go to the A string, use your pointer finger to go to the 3rd fret. Now, it would be tempting to go. Actually, there's an argument to be made. You could use your ring finger if you want to do that, but what I do is I use my pointer finger, and so I get hit after I do the G string, the D string. I put my pointer on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then do the same thing where I pull off to an open A. Then you end up, once you can pull off, you end up back on you do a hammer on back on the 3rd fret of the A. You don't have to actually put a hammer on, you can actually pick it there too. Okay, and then you put your ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string. And that is why right there, that is why I use my pointer finger instead of my ring finger on that part. I mean, you can still do it, but it's just a little bit smoother when I use that. Then you can go, and then with the next note, you put your, so what did I tell you to do? So So you end up at the 5th fret of the A string. Then you put your pointer finger, hit the 3rd fret of the E string, your ring finger on the 5th fret of the E string, and then your middle finger, your ring finger. So yeah, your pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, your ring finger on the 5th fret of the E string, then your ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and your pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. Actually, that's not true. I'm sorry. After you do the 5th fret of the E string, you do a power chord right there on the, which basically put your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A string and your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string, and then move down 2 frets, put your pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the A string and your ring fingers on the 5th fret of the D string. Do it again. The next time you just stay on that first chord. Okay. Moving on. Okay, the next part. Okay, what is the next part again? Oh yeah. So the next part is when he goes. Oh yeah, the next part is this part. So all you're basically doing is you put you strum or pick the low E, down pick on the low E. And then down pick on use your ring finger, the 7th fret of the A string. Then use your pointer finger to hit the 5th fret of the A string. Then use your pointer finger to hit the 4th fret of the A string. And that, there's kind of a every other on the off beat kind of thing. Then use your ring finger to hit the 7th fret of the 9th fret of the E string. 7th fret. 7th fret of the E string, I'm sorry. 7th fret of the E string. Put your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the E string. Pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the E. Then use your pointer finger to hit the 5th fret of the A string. And also use your pointer finger to hit the 5th fret of the D string. You gotta listen to the song to get the timing right. Second time you do it again. Same thing. Flip it, first open E, ring finger on the 7th fret of the A, pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A, pointer finger on the 4th fret of the A, ring finger on the 7th fret of the E. So after that, then you go. What I do actually is after you hit the 4th fret of the A string, I take my ring finger and slide it from the 5th to the 7th fret of the E string. Put my pointer finger back on slide it to a 5th fret of the A string. And then what I do is I use my middle finger, actually my pointer finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the E string. Use my middle finger to hit the 3rd fret of the E string. My ring finger to hit the 4th fret of the E string. And then I use my middle finger to hit the 3rd fret of the A string. So the whole thing is. Back to the beginning part. Okay, so after that, I don't even know what part we're on anymore. I think it's 5. Okay, 6th. I think it's the 6th part. Is this part. Okay, and all you're doing is doing the A power chord again. You just have your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the D string and you're strumming the A open. Just those two strings, strumming the A and the D string. Hit that twice. Then do a bar chord where your pointer finger's on the 3rd fret of the E string and your ring finger's on the 5th fret of the A string. Then do your pointer finger is on the first fret of the E string, and your ring finger is on the third fret of the A string. And then what you do is you do open E, put a hammer on the first fret of the A string. Actually, you can hammer on the next one too. The hammer on the third fret of the E string. The open A, and hammer on with your ring finger on the third fret of the A string. Okay, the second time around you go same thing, except when you do this part, you go open E, hammer on the first fret of the E and the third fret of the E. Do the open A, then use your middle finger to hit the second fret of the A string instead of the third. There's a subtle difference there. Okay, now the seventh part is you do a power chord on the, put your pointer finger on the fifth fret of the A string and your ring finger on the seventh fret of the D string. Strum the A and the D strings, go down 2 frets, put your pointer finger on the third fret of the A string and your ring finger on the fifth fret of the D string. Then go down 2 more frets where your pointer finger is on the first fret of the A string and your ring finger is on the third fret of the D string. And you do that same pattern. You go open A, except you're on the A instead of the E, so open A, hammer on the first fret of the A. Use your ring finger to hammer on the third fret of the A. Open D. And then you use your ring finger to hammer on the third fret of the D. You do that same bar chords again. Then you end up on the G, put your pointer finger on the third fret of the E and your ring finger on the fifth fret of the A string. So here's all the whole thing slowly. The very last part, again the chorus is there, you're not even playing over the chorus. The very last part is you're going to put your pointer finger over the second fret of the E string and your ring finger on the fourth fret of the A string. Do that twice. Then you're going to take your pointer finger, put it on the second fret of the D string, and then you put your ring finger on the fourth fret of the D string, and you're going to do a pull off to that second fret. So you're going to pull off from the fourth fret of the D string to the second fret of the D string. You're going to end up with your ring finger on the fourth fret of the A string. You go back to that chord again. And then you hit the A open, just open A, and pointer finger on the second fret of the D string. And then you do the open E, which is your open E, and you put your pointer on the second fret of the A string. You gotta listen to the timing because it's a little bit different. Here's all fast. Here's slow again. Here's fast. That's it. That is the guitar lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you like these videos, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much and have a great day jamming with Kansas.